Nishita, just imagine if any other normal citizen is over there, their bouncers would actually catch them by the collar and throw them out. Why couldn't they do the same thing over here just because he's an MLA? I mean, well, he's still a normal individual.
Well, you answered that question yourself, Nolan, because he's an MLA. In fact, it is MLA Vijayanand, along with 3 other MLAs who have come into this party. And there are 4 elected representatives here. And we also understand that all 4 of them belong to the ruling Congress. We also understand that there is a rowdy sheeter present along with them. So clearly, the Sky Bar lunch seems to have eased out their rules for these MLA, believing that probably the cops also won't do anything, considering that it is 4 MLAs, 4 elected representatives in question who have come in for this party. So they believed that probably that even the cops will not bother them, and that the deadline can be eased out for these MLAs. So it clearly goes on to show how the law is being treated differently for different people, while on one hand we clearly had the cops come into our very studios and say that they will see how the people behave during this 3-period test extension that we had in the city, 3-month period, and they said that they will see how people behave, whether there are any untoward incidents that will take place, based on the results of which they will actually extend the deadline permanently. But even as the people of the city are being extremely careful to not cause any trouble due to the extension during weekends, so that the extension remains permanently, looks like our very own elected representatives have less regard for the law. This particular MLA, along with him 3 MLAs, mind you, so we have 4 elected representatives here who did not care for the deadline, who did not care for the police officials who came in to carry out their duty, who did not care before coming out in the open and stating that they had not done anything wrong, despite the fact that the CCTV footage spoke completely against them, and they did not even care before going absconding after the entire incident was recorded by the police and an FIR was registered.
Right, Nishita, I'm going to place you on hold there for a moment. In fact, protests have broken out and against the Congress right here in the city. In fact, they are calling Congress leaders as sort of gundas. The placards that they hold there state the same. The Congress ministers In fact, you can clearly see on the placards over there, they are actually poking fun at the MLAs over here, saying that Congress MLAs are nothing but gundas or resorting to gundagiri. And this protest, you can clearly see by the flag, is being organized by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, Nishita, coming back to you, we were talking about, you stated that since there were MLAs, the authorities at Sky Bar Lounge could not do anything. Could it also be because they were scared that if they did something against the MLAs, first of all, Congress MLAs, ruling party MLAs, that their licenses, their license could be in trouble. Point 1, point 2, they could be pulled up for any number of problems. Maybe they didn't pay their taxes, or so and so. Hypothesis.
Well, there could be numerous reasons, but the bottom line is that if it was not an MLA in question, Nolan, as you rightly mentioned, if it was any other common being, if it was me or you, if it was any other citizen of Bengaluru, probably he wouldn't have received that treatment. He would have been thrown out right away. He would have
No, Nishita, because we can't actually do anything regarding their taxes. We can't force authorities to go and raid them, but the MLAs can.
Right, absolutely. In fact, obviously they fear the kind of power that these MLAs carried with them. These MLAs, of course, as we know, they are 4 elected representatives from 4 different constituencies, all of them belonging to the ruling Congress party. So anything could have happened. It could be an issue with their license. It could be an issue, any other issue in concern to Sky Bar. They would have feared trouble had they had gone against the wishes of the MLA, and that's the reason why they probably cooperated with accepted them and accommodated their request, and despite the deadline ending at 11:30 p.m., they continued till almost 2 a.m. And even when the police officials came in, when there was an altercation that took place between the MLA's men as well as the police officials, we understand that the Sky Bar personnel did precious little to actually stop the altercation, clearly indicating the kind of fear that these elected representatives carry. Now, ideally, they're supposed to be our representatives. They're supposed to be closer to the law than we are. They're supposed to be vigilant of the law than we should be. They should be a role model to us, but that is absolutely not happening in this particular case. And of course, now this has become a huge political debate as well. While on one hand, the Home Minister has chosen to remain mum, which is quite a pity to say the very least, considering that it is the police department that has been assaulted. On the other hand, it is his very own MLAs who are the accused in the case. Yesterday, the Home Minister chose to say that these are the questions that should be directed to the police commissioner and the police department, and that he can't answer it all, as he has the responsibility of many other things. But even a day later, looks like the Home Minister does not have any sufficient answers to give the people of the state as to whether it is fair for MLAs from his very own party, from the MLAs from his government, to actually come out and break the law in such a blatant manner and also assault police officials. Now the opposition has sprung into action. Today, as you saw, Nolan, there was a protest that was held by the BJP, and we also understand that leader of the opposition, Jagadish Shettar, has gone on to demand the arrest of MLA Vijayananda. Now, with all this pressure being exerted by the media, by the police as well, not as much, although an FIR has been registered, and also pressure being exerted from the opposition, will the government take a moral high ground here, actually track down the MLA Vijayananda and arrest him, is the big question, in fact, that needs to be asked, because it has been over a day. It is going to be close to 2 days since the MLA has committed this crime of sorts, being an elected representative. He is not supposed to behave in the way he did. He cannot assault a police constable for opposing to what he is doing, which is breaking the law, by the way. So this MLA needs to be pulled up for what he has done, as there is concrete evidence to support the constable's claims.
Right, Nishita, thank you very much for all those details. But as of now, the MLA is missing. He's not at the Legislative House. He's not in the Assembly. He's nowhere to be found.
ಲೋಕೇಶ್ವರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಸರ್? ಲೋಕೇಶ್ವರಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಲೋಕೇಶ್ವರಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ನನ್ನ ಮರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು? ಲೋಕೇಶ್ವರಿಂದ ನನಗೆ